Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something real, something we all face, the struggle. That feeling when you wake up and the day already feels heavy. You're pushing, you're trying, but it feels like you're wading through mud. If that's you right now, I want you to know you're not alone, and I want to share a story with you. It's about a young woman named Maya. Maya was an artist. Not a famous one, not one with gallery openings and fancy parties. She was an artist in her small apartment, with canvases stacked against the walls and the smell of turpentine always in the air. Her dream was to make a living from her art, to share the world she created on canvas with the real world, but reality was different. By day, she worked a monotonous data entry job, staring at spreadsheets until the numbers blurred. Her fingers would ache, not from holding a brush, but from typing. Each evening, she'd come home exhausted, the creative energy she woke up with drained away by the fluorescent lights of her office. She would stand in front of a blank canvas, her brushes clean and ready, and feel nothing. The passion was still there, a tiny pilot light flickering in her chest, but the exhaustion was like a wet blanket smothering it. Days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. The stack of blank canvases grew taller. The finished ones gathered dust. Doubt started to creep in, that familiar cold voice in the back of her mind. Maybe you're not good enough, it would whisper. Maybe this is just a silly hobby. Who are you to think you can be an artist? She started scrolling through social media, seeing other artists celebrating their sales, their exhibitions, their successes. And the comparison was brutal. It felt like everyone was sprinting ahead while she was stuck at the starting line, her shoelaces tied together. One particularly rough Tuesday, after a reprimand from her boss for a minor error and a frustrating commute home in the pouring rain, she walked into her apartment, soaked and defeated. She looked at her art supplies, not with love, but with resentment. They felt like a monument to her failure. She slumped onto her couch and just sat there in the dark, letting the weight of it all press down on her. I can't do this anymore, she said to the empty room. I give up. The words hung in the air, heavy and final. She felt a strange sense of relief, the kind you feel when you finally stop fighting a current that's too strong. She went to bed that night, and for the first time in years, she didn't set an alarm. The next morning, sunlight streamed through a gap in her curtains. She woke up slowly, no blaring alarm, no sense of urgency. For a moment, it was peaceful. Then, the emptiness hit. No job to rush to, no painting she was supposed to be working on, just a void. She spent the day tidying up, avoiding her art corner. As she was dusting a bookshelf, she found an old, worn sketchbook from her college days. She sat down and flipped through it. The pages were filled with clumsy drawings, half-finished ideas, notes scrawled in the margins. They weren't masterpieces. They were messy, imperfect, but they were overflowing with life. She saw the raw excitement in every line, the pure joy of creation before the pressure and the doubt set in. She remembered the girl who drew these pictures. That girl didn't care about selling paintings or getting followers. She drew because she couldn't not draw. It was how she processed the world. It was how she breathed. A small, quiet thought entered her mind. What if I just draw one thing? Not for a painting, not for Instagram, not for anyone. Just for me. She grabbed a pencil, the same kind she used in college, and a fresh page in her old sketchbook. She looked around her apartment, and her eyes landed on her wilted houseplant on the windowsill. It was a sad little thing, a bit neglected, just like her dreams. She started to sketch it, the curve of a drooping leaf, the texture of the dry soil, the way the light caught one of the healthier leaves. She wasn't trying to make it perfect. She was just observing, letting her hand move. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't thinking. She was just doing. An hour passed. Then two. When she finally looked up, the sun was setting, casting a warm orange glow across her room. She looked down at the drawing. It was just a simple pencil sketch of a plant. But it was honest, and in that moment, she felt a flicker of the old joy. The pilot light. It wasn't a roaring flame, but it was there. The next day, she didn't paint a masterpiece. She drew a coffee mug. The day after that, she sketched the view from her window. She didn't quit her job just yet. But her relationship with her art began to change. The struggle wasn't gone, but its nature had shifted. It was no longer a battle against herself, against her perceived lack of talent or success. The new struggle was about carving out that small, sacred space for creation, even when she was tired, even when the world was demanding. She started to see that the struggle wasn't a sign that she should quit. It was a sign that she was engaged in something that mattered deeply to her. The resistance she felt was proportional to the love she had for her dream. Slowly she began to paint again. But this time, her approach was different. She wasn't chasing a grand outcome. She was focused on the process, the feeling of the brush in her hand, the magic of mixing two colors to create a third. She painted for the joy of it, just like the girl in the sketchbook. And a funny thing happened. As she let go of the pressure, her work became more authentic, more vibrant. It became more her asterisk. She started sharing it online again, but this time without the desperate need for validation. She shared the process, the messy parts, the little sketches of her dying plant. People responded. They connected not just with the beautiful finished pieces, but with the honest struggle behind them. Maya's story didn't end with her becoming a world-famous artist overnight. Life isn't a movie. But it did end with her finding a way to integrate her passion into her life in a sustainable, joyful way. She started selling a few prints online. She took a part-time job that gave her more time and energy to paint. Her apartment became less of a storage unit for failures and more of a vibrant, living studio. The struggle was still there. Some days were still hard. Some canvases still intimidated her. But she had learned that the struggle wasn't the enemy. It was part of the path. It was the friction that creates the fire. So if you're out there, feeling that weight, staring at your own version of a blank canvas, whether it's a business plan, a fitness goal, a personal project, or just getting through the day, I want you to remember Maya. Remember that feeling defeated doesn't mean you're defeated. It's a moment to rest, to reconnect with your why. Go back to your old sketchbooks. Remember the person who started this journey, the one who was filled with passion before the pressure of the world set in. Don't be afraid to start small. Draw the plan on your windowsill, write one sentence. Go for a 5-minute walk. The goal isn't to conquer the mountain in a single day. The goal is to take one small honest step. And then another. The struggle is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're fighting for something you love. It's the texture of a meaningful life. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep showing up, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because that's where the magic happens. That's where you find out what you're truly made of. Thank you so much for listening today. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what your blank canvas is right now. Let's support each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. Keep going. You've got this.